So, for this vlog, I want to talk about a point in the story that I noticed and I thought was a very big moment. The moment I'm talking about is when Star and her family moved out of Garden Heights into a completely new neighborhood near their Uncle Carlos. I think this is like very important because it shows that they're almost like starting a new life because they're coming from Garden Heights, which is a place filled with, gangs and violence, and not, as Big Mav was talking about, they don't really get that much funding, for their schools, so they have to send Star and her brothers to private school in Williamson. So they're going from, a town like that to a completely area, new secluded area, almost just like Uncle Carlos's neighborhood. And so the quote from the book is right when it was the Sunday and they thought that they were going to Uncle Carlos's house. And so it says, single-story brick houses line freshly paved streets. Black kids, white kids, and everything in between play on the sidewalks and in yards. Open garage doors show all the junk inside, and bikes and scooters lay abandoned in yards. Nobody's worried about their stuff getting stolen in the middle of the day. It reminds me of Uncle Carlos's neighborhood, yet it's different. For one, there's no gate around it, so they're not keeping anyone out or in, but people obviously feel safe. The houses are smaller and more homey looking. And it's so that right there just shows, you know, how different of an area this is. Especially, Star was almost like, in shock when she was talking about how the garage doors would just open in the middle of the day and everyone's stuff was just out in the open and like no one was worried about anything getting stolen, which is so different from where they're coming from, where you can't even be outside past, a certain time of day before the gangs and stuff, of course, start coming out. So that, right there I think is really important. And so one of the quotes that shows just how crazy of a life, more how crazy of a setting they're coming from is when they're having a conversation about, the school funding and, how poor of an area, Garden Heights really is. So the quote that describes this part, it says, "That's why when your mama talked about sending you and your brothers to Williamson, I agreed. Our schools don't get the resources to equip you like Williamson does. It's easier to find some crack than it is to find a good school around here." So that just shows, how different and, how crazy of an area they're coming from where, you can't even go to a good school. Do you know this new area where she was talking about, she feels safe, people's stuff are just outside all the time, everyone's playing and just interacting and stuff like that.